What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC was just in Prague and put on an event that happened Saturday morning. Pretty fun way to start a Saturday for me. Usually fights are Saturday nights. So it was nice to wake up and turn on the fights and watch pretty much, I watched all the fights before I started my day. And it was a pretty good card. Not a lot of names in this card, so a lot of my picks, kind of guessing. However, I am 12 for 12 in my last two main card picks. All 6 of my picks from Phoenix were right, and all of my picks were right from UFC Prague. Starting off with the main event, Thiago Santos versus Jan Błachowicz. I was regretting my decision potentially leading up to it because I kind of forgot how much of a run Błachowicz was on. However, Santos, I definitely made a good pick. It was a crazy fight. Just Santos definitely had a much better game plan. Well, not better game plan, but a different game plan than his previous fights. He's definitely more measured, more patient. Was able to take Błachowicz out in the 3rd round. But just overall, pretty great fight. Just two really heavy hitters. I have no problem seeing. I would love to see Santos rematch the dude coming up next month that's fighting, not next month, next fight, that's fighting John Jones, who is Anthony Lionheart Smith. Would not mind seeing a rematch. They both fought at, middleweight, welterweight, 185. Amazing that they're both 205ers now. But, Santos, I wouldn't mind seeing Santos fight John Jones either. I'm happy Jones is back and that there's a light heavyweight champion that's willing to fight regularly and not just sit on a belt that he didn't even earn. So happy to see John Jones fighting it, which I'll make picks for that later. Stefan Struve, who I picked and was not looking good as per usual, but I'm just a fan of Stefan Struve, and I'm hopeful that he's going to come in and learn how to use his massive reach and height advantage. But again, he wasn't really able to. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of stand up in this one. It was pretty much went to the ground right away. But Struve was able to get the triangle choke in the 2nd round, which was a good win for him. Definitely a good win for him, and he kind of retired afterwards. I would love to see him retire. He's done great things in the sport. He's never really reached the heights that a lot of people, including myself, had for him just because of his height, and he came in so young. It's eventually he's going to get better. He's going to learn how to use his reach, and he's going to be a dominant champion in the heavyweight division. And it just never happened. It just never happened for him, despite him, holding a lot of records, being close to the top in most wins in UFC history, most finishes, most submissions. So great career for him. I would love to see him retire. I don't think he needs to fight anymore. Hopefully he has things going on outside of the cage that, can help him transition out of fighting. But there's no real point in, I don't know what he's chasing, unless he wants to be, get a couple more wins by stoppage or something like that to break some records. But I don't really know what other things he could, what goals he could achieve that would be worth sticking around for. But a good win for Struve. Then I voted against Gian Villante just because I know he wins, but he's one of those just slobber knocker fighters that's just no game plan. He just goes in and lets things fly. The dude he was fighting, Olian, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but looked super tiny. But a lot of movement, was able to finish him with a body shot pretty quick in the 1st round. But yeah, I just don't have faith in Gian Villante to win a fight. As far as consistency, it's just not a good bet. Then, of course, Liz Carmouche, dominant win, went to a decision, but it was a pretty dominant win with grappling and takedowns, not a whole lot of stand-up from her, but I think that's what she was avoiding against Pudilova. Then Peter Yan versus John Dodson. Again, voting against John Dodson, despite my love for John Dodson, it's just his own worst enemy. He did it in this fight again, where he's like, he gets overly emotional about things that are going on and trying to talk to referees. He's done it in probably his last 5 fights, it seems like. And every time he starts to do that, it just performance goes down. He looked okay in this fight, but Peter Yan put it to him and was able to land a bunch of combinations. Looked great against him. But yeah, it's just disappointing to see John Dodson, who he at one point he was just he was just so fun to watch, and now it just seems like he's so emotional when he gets in there and he lets it take over, and just, he's his own worst enemy for sure. Then starting off with the Ankalaev versus Abreu, Brazilian, didn't really have much. He got his nose broken and was pieced up pretty early in the fight. Overall, pretty fun night or morning of fights. Pretty decent card overall. I enjoyed it. But next week is UFC 235. John Jones defending his light heavyweight belt against Anthony Lionheart Smith, which I'm, obviously going with John Jones. It would be insane if Lionheart wins it. Would be insane. You want to talk about shaking up the light heavyweight division? That would be it. And it would be the most annoying, I'm sure, we'll ever see DC. DC would probably not stop tweeting if John Jones loses. But I don't see Jones losing, so I got Jones. Then, of course, it's Kamaru Usman versus Tyron Woodley. I am not a fan of Tyron Woodley. I think he complains too much, and he doesn't seem very focused on being a champ. He's focused on putting out bad art, just a shitty song. I tried to listen to his Knock Yo, Beat Yo Ass single, whatever. Just horrible. I don't know who's spending their time producing his shit. I've never seen a movie that he's in that was good. They're all pretty dog shit, and he's really small character in them, so he's not like he's lighting up the acting world. He's not lighting up the music industry, and I guess he's doing stand-up too, which, unless you're Brennan Schaub and actually doing it all the time, like even Brennan Schaub, when he started doing it, he wasn't doing it all the time, and it's hard for me as a comedy fan to have a lot of respect for somebody that's not treating the art form that they're going into with respect. Like they think because they're famous, they have shortcuts to just like being funny versus developing your craft. And that's what Tyron Woodley seems to be doing. So I got Usman in this. I hope Usman wins. I think it's a good matchup. Good wrestling, good striking. And I'm not a fan of Tyron Woodley, so I wouldn't mind seeing him lose. I got Ben Askren beating Robbie Lawler. Lawler's been out for a long time. Askren, never seen him fight, but I know his style, and that style is one that once he gets a hold of you, it's not going to be good. Hopefully he gets the finish. I hope it's an exciting fight, but I think I got Askren in this. Robbie Lawler's just been out for so long and just taken so much damage, so we'll see. Then I have Tisha Tiny Tornado Torres versus Weili Zhang. Just Torres, always impressive, even though I think she may have lost her last fight, but she's always looking good. And then finally in the main card, Cody Garbrandt versus Pedro Munoz. I got Cody Garbrandt coming back. I think he's going to, get a few wins and then challenge for that belt again. His performance against Cruz was just gorgeous to watch, and would love to see him put on a performance like that against anybody again. So that's it. It's going to be a crazy card, though. Jeremy Stevens versus Zabit. I think Zabit's going to win it, even though it's not official picks. I'm just doing main card picks. Johnny Walker's back already against Serkinov. I think Johnny Walker might do it. Mickey Gall versus Diego Sanchez. I want Mickey Gall to win. I love Diego Sanchez, but it's just, as far as young blood coming up, I would love to see Mickey Gall get that win. But it's going to be a fun card from Las Vegas, UFC 235. Those are my picks. Hopefully I can keep this run going. 12 for 12 so far in main card picks. I don't know if I'm going to do any betting in this, but if there is a betting place that wants to sponsor this show, hit me up. But yeah, that's it. New episodes of this show come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Inspireddisorder.com for all of my artwork and podcasts. At Ray Taylor for me on all social media. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out.